All right, we're back here on Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs, and this is the part of the show where we talk about every single player on the Vancouver Canucks. Get involved in the comments if you're here watching on YouTube Live. This is 5-ish minutes for report cards. All right, this is 5-ish minutes for report cards here on Locked On Canucks, and let's kind of go through it line by line. So we got the first line here, Jake DeBrusk. Let's give him I'm going to give him a C+ tonight. I think he had one good pass. Can't remember who it was to, but he almost set up, I think it was maybe Philip Hedl for a goal when they shook up the lines. But again, you want to see more from a guy like Jake DeBrusk. C+. Elias Pettersson, I'm giving a D tonight, man. Maybe that's even too kind. I think Kyle Bauer wants to take that calculator and smack me once again. And again, in the comments, I'm not seeing a lot of love for Elias Pettersson, but hey, the fancy stats said he was one of the best Canucks in the game tonight. I'm not sure if I'm believing that, but look, it's clear that this guy, there's a different standard for him. And through three games, he has absolutely not met that standard so far. Brock Besser, far too. Was Brock Besser even playing tonight? Oh my God, I know he had 2 goals in his first 2 games, but largely invisible tonight. And again, Elias Pettersson can't do it all by himself. But someone on the lad's got to do something. I don't really think any of them did anything tonight. Jake DeBrusk and Brock Besser end up playing with Philip Hedl in the third period. Is there potential there? Sure. But, they didn't, there wasn't much there. I said D. Yeah, I saw B in the comments. So I said D for Elias Pettersson. Because, hey, you know what? I guess defensively he was fine, except for that one horrendous turnover that led to the Blues' first goal of the game. Brock Besser, let's give him a C-. Evander Kane, I'm going to give him a C. And I feel like Evander Kane's speed's been a bit of an issue. I hate Evander Kane on the power play. I've hated him there so far this season. Bad passes, back to the point. I think he passed it out of his own zone at one point. Try to bull rush to the net, man. Trying to put the team on his back. And all it does is cough with the puck. It ends up down the ice again. Please, for the love of God, get Jonathan Lecker-Mackey on the top unit and see what he can do. C for Evander Kane. I'm going to give Philip Hedl a C- tonight. Didn't really like his game. Connor Garland, I'm going to give a B tonight. I think Connor Garland, much like Kiefer Sherwood, he's a guy that you always notice that there's something always happening with Connor Garland, even though he was out there for a shorthanded goal. I mean, man, oh man, look at the evolution of Connor Garland becoming now one of the team's top penalty killers and top offensive threats. Remember we thought Elias Pettersson was going to do that? Man, oh man. Drew O'Connor, I'm going to give him a C- tonight. I mean, other than drawing that penalty in the third period, Drew O'Connor also had a couple turnovers himself. And yeah, again, when the St. Louis Blues scored their second goal of the game, my wife goes, "Who's that guy? He sucks." I got another funny quote from my wife that I'll get to later on in the show, man. She made me burst out laughing at one point. So C, what did I say for Drew O'Connor? C sounds about right. Brayden Coots, give him a C+, man. Trying hard out there, not playing too much, not too noticeable, not making any mistakes. Jonathan Lecker-Mackey, didn't see much of him tonight. Give him a C. Steve Baines, I'd give him a B tonight. Aatu Räty, I'd give an A-. I said I really liked Aatu Räty's game tonight. The lone bright spot at center for your Vancouver Canucks was Aatu Räty, okay? Man, oh man, maybe should have been drafted higher in 2021, but that is revisionist history now, baby. And Kiefer Sherwood, give the guy an A+, man. Come on, round of applause for you. I'm thankful for Kiefer Sherwood, man. Round of applause for Kiefer, the Reefer Sherwood. Thank God Kiefer Sherwood is on our hockey team. A reminder, he's only making $1.5 million. Holy! He's definitely playing much above his pay grade. Quinn Hughes making things happen out there. Again, a turnover or 2 tonight again, kind of like the Edmonton game, but he tries to put the team on his back, and you just hope at some point this season the forwards help him out, because right now they are not helping him out at all. But for his effort, I'd give him a B+ overall. I know there's a higher standard for Quinn Hughes, much like there is Elias Pettersson, but you see Quinn Hughes wheeling and dealing and trying to make things happen for your Vancouver Canucks, and it's hard to hate that. Phil Pronik, give him a B-. I don't know why Philip Pronik was arguing so hard about the high sticking call. Maybe just a little butthurt because his team's not playing very well. But Philip, part of the issue, buddy. DPD out there tonight. I give him a B. Didn't mind DPD's game at all. Skating alongside Tyler Myers. Tyler Myers was a little chaotic tonight. I give Tyler Myers a C. But hey, these were the D pairs that Kyle and I really wanted to see heading into the season. Hughes, Hronek, DPD, Tyler Myers, Marcus Pettersson, Victor Mancini. And, Marcus Pettersson, solid beat tonight. Dan Hamhuis, cool, calm, collected. Maybe one bad breakout pass, but overall, just he gives you what you expect, right? There's not a lot of variability in his game, unlike a guy like Tyler Myers. And Victor Mancini, to be honest, thought he looked pretty rough tonight. I mean, you want to see the excitement, the bull rushes up the ice, boom, bam, but he looked a little sloppy with the puck. His clears often weren't getting out of the zone. Again, just game one for Victor Mancini. But again, it wasn't really a great start for the season for him. And Kevin Lankinen, let's give him a C overall. It's hard to fault him on a lot of the goals. Maybe the Nathan Walker one that was down low, you like to see him get across and stop that one. But Kevin Lankinen, I think there's better nights ahead for him. I don't know, again, if a lot of goals were his fault tonight, but he led in 5. 4 goals, one was an empty netter. It's a so-so night. So let's give him a C overall. How about that? That was close to 5 minutes, man. Unbelievable. All right, let's pause for a quick break here. We're going to wrap up with a lot of your comments here on the other side on Locked On Canucks.